By the way, you want to talk about, we just came up with the greatest reality show of all time.
What?
The Brothers Brennan.
Oh, yeah. That's, you got a
How could that not be a reality show?
Colin, I think you got a potential Wahlburgers on your hands with that. I think you got a...
I mean, it's blowing my mind just thinking about Kevin and Neil being in the same room.
Yeah, do they talk like that? I talk to Neil all the time. I always liked Kevin too. But no, I don't.
It's a war.
Yeah. Because
that's what I'm saying. And all this now.
That our outrage that MTV asked rapper Kanye West to edit his new video all falls down. Here are the lyrics in question. He says, because they make us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shorties hollering where the ball is at. Drug dealers buy Jordans, crackhead buy crack, and a white man gets paid off all of that. And I saw it last night on Def Jam, providentially, Def Poetry. Now they dropped the word white in white man. Now what do you guys think about it? Should they have dropped the word?
Well, obviously, even if they drop the word white, we know who they're blaming. They're not blaming the West Indians.
Right.
They hate us. They hate our guts.
I just like that 5 white guys are talking about this.
Why? We're not allowed to talk about it?
We're still in charge. We're still in charge. That's my point.
Oh, I want charge of what? I think, wait. It pisses me off. I don't even think white man's an insult. Why is that an insult? You know, if someone says
you.
No.
I noticed. Well, that haircut hasn't done much for us.
That's a fine compliment. You're a white man. Thank you, and a good day to you too, sir.
You call a black guy, sir? I know Patrice was throwing around the word cracker yesterday, our black friend. They didn't have a problem with that. We all know cracker is the equivalent of right?
Whoa, what? Are we still on air?
Hey, I'm offended. Excuse me.
I'm gonna get bleeped anyway.
Excuse me, I have some black blood.
He's a member of the
on the grill of my car, but still, it's...
I think it's black blood.
What'd you do? You got black blood. What'd you do, burn a bagel? Yeah, I could tell.
First of all, the commercial...
Hey, dickhead, I was speaking. Who's the guest here?
I knew that wasn't going to get through.
Viagra?
I knew that wasn't going to get
dickhead Viagra?
Hey, whoa. Go ahead. You did come
The point I was making was...
Somebody lean back. I thought that man could jump in.
Talk.
What, you going to talk or not? I'm going to jump in again.
What's the hurry?
Because it's a half hour.
No, it's true. You don't understand, Brennan has a bad temper, too. Not as bad as Nick, but he's pretty close.
Bad temper and a bad
Brennan's had more
barber.
little fights in that stupid hallway than like a drunken Russian customer from Brighton Beach.
What'd you say?
Go ahead, Nick. It began its hearings this week to investigate how prepared the U.S. was against possible terrorist attack prior to September 11th. You've heard what I think came out of it. Anybody else have any other things? But don't you think blaming either one of them is crazy? It was Bin Laden.
I do. Yeah, no, because it's really the airline's fault because they like Israel Airline, whatever that's called. Yeah, they have cheap flights, and I think that they had security, so we didn't have security because we don't want security. So really, it's our fault. You know what I mean? Because we don't want to be inconvenienced.
You know, I'm a Bin Laden, and I thought the airlines did a great job carrying us out of America after 9/11. They gave me a kosher meal. I was very satisfied.
So you're one of the Bin Laden family?
I'm one of the Bin Ladens, yes.
Here's the thing. You can't win.
Why are we blaming ourselves? I think you got a good point. You know, we're like the girl who's being molested by her uncle for 10 years. It's not our fault.
You can't see it coming.
It's the uncle's fault.
Whoa, wait.
That's like him would say, you know what, your uncle had a right to molest you. He had a short skirt on. That's what you'd be saying.
Wait, I did it once. They did it on March 11th, like the 11th, and you can't stop these terrorists. You just don't travel.
Look.
Well, that doesn't affect your career.
I know. That's why I stay in town.
Not to get off the subject, but you know, you'd be surprised a lot of times your niece does wear a little skirt, and you don't intend for things to happen, but it's not always the uncle's fault. But so no, that is a good point. Don't you feel sometimes like when everyone said root causes, the first thing I thought was, oh, it's like saying to the rape victim exactly that. It's like saying, oh, you were asking for it with your lax immigration policies. You know what I mean? Right. It's kind of like blaming, blaming the person that got attacked.
That was sort of the point I was trying to make.
That's what upsets me, is that they were foreigners.
Mine too. Yeah. These are the kind of things that are important in our little world. Now listen, the Supreme Court is considering the case of Larry Hibble, a Nevada cattle rancher who was arrested for refusing to reveal his name or show an ID when police stopped him. Now, aside from the name is Hibble, nobody wants to say their name when it's Larry Hibble, but...
It sounds like a blue-collar...
What do you think? Should you have to say your name when the cops go, what's your name?
First of all, I just think the guy had to fight with his girlfriend, so he's already pissed. The cop had a hard on. The guy probably didn't want it. He came up and said, what's your name? First of all, the cop can just Can he just run his plates? The cop was just being a douche, whatever I can say on air. You know what I mean? And it's like when a cop.
Being a douche?
No, it's like the cop-
douche for saying I'm not telling you my name.
No, it's like when a cop comes up and says, you know why I stopped you? It's like, you smelled the pot in the glove compartment? You know what I mean? You're not supposed to. It's like, let them do their job.
Right.
Run the plates.
But what if you're walking?
You should be able to. You should have to tell them your name, especially in this day of terrorism. I mean, you know,
Not if he's not Arab,
we
you
should
know?
make it tough on the cops to figure out who's who. But then again, if you see like an Arab guy hanging out at Grand Central at 2 in the morning, we already know his name. It's Muhammad.
But is that how?
Great
I mean,
show.
that's not.